Hey everybody, we are back, and tonight we have a full complement of people. So we've got Jeremy with us, we've got
Howdy.
Fernando with us, and we have a special guest, Josh. How are you, mate?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Not bad at all.
Getting there.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Now, you guys might remember Josh from a certain road trip video that Fernando was doing when he was going live out at Lake Shawnee. We brought Josh in for a few minutes. You might not recognize him with all the clothes off. He looked a little bit like Kenny from South Park when we were recording. But I'd like to start off and let Josh and Fernando talk about how their trip went over at Lake Shawnee. So do you guys want to take it away for a bit?
I mean, it was definitely a amazing location to go to, and the owner Chris, he has that. He's just so charismatic. He's, especially when he's giving like his tours and just letting, giving all the information that he knows. And we got to see, private, the pictures and everything. It was absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, the next time I go to Lake Shawnee, it'll be under better circumstances as far as weather is concerned. That's for sure. Yeah. But I actually met Josh during that trip for the first time, and 3 weeks ago, I want to say, my girlfriend and myself, we ended up, let's take a road trip to North Carolina. And then, we kind of left a little too early, and we had like 3-4 hours to kill. And hey, let's stop by Savannah, Georgia. And I was like, all right, let me see what's up with Josh. So I texted him, and he, right away popped up and gave us, I've never been in a tour so interesting with all the information. And I was able to be in Savannah, Georgia, midnight. That was freaking awesome. But Josh, you have a lot of experience in Savannah, Georgia. You live like an hour away, you said, right?
Yeah, so I live just north of it. It's Claxton. Kind of live out in the country. Savannah, I love Savannah. I do. But it gets very loud at times. So I'm very much a person who likes solitude. So my hour drive is, okay, I'm going to go down and do some history and, have a good time. But when I go home, I like, stepping outside and seeing pastures and stuff like that. So that's why I live where I live. But with Savannah, I've been a tour guide there for over 6 years now. And I just love delving in the history. So, Fernando, what you heard when you were down there, to me, it's just like I have to speak. Like if I'm standing beside a building that I know, it's just like it's coming out of my mouth. So that's kind of
There's
what
a lot to
happened
talk about. There's a lot to
there.
talk about in Savannah. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah, but yeah, me and Fernando, we did Lake Shawnee, and some of the experiences we had there were pretty crazy. They were doing a recording for Jacqueline's new show, Speaking with the Silent, which sure you guys have heard about.
Yeah.
Now, we were kind of hanging back, and we had an interesting interaction over by the lake. There was a teenager, apparently, that had drowned over there in a boating accident. And Fernando had his K2 on his hip, and it kept beeping, and we're trying to figure out, what's going on and stuff like that. And we asked a couple times, like, we asked if it was a child, we got a no on that. Asked if it was adult, we got a no on that. So I'm, like, thinking to myself, like, okay, this is interesting. It didn't come till the next morning. I kind of put it all together. There was a 14-year-old boy who had gone out on a boat, and his boat flipped. And right where those rocks are where we're standing, he was trying to kind of lead us into the lake to show us particularly where he had died at. And that was something I confirmed with Jacqueline, because I'm like, listen, I might be completely wrong here. but I'm going to tell you what I'm feeling. And she's like, yeah, it was this, 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 and this. So that's kind of what happened with us. And that was a very interesting experience there as well.
Mm.
Shawnee is one of those places, like, you get a different experience every time. Um, which is crazy to say because when Fernando was there, we actually had light activity. So, like, in normality, that place is just like, I live in Savannah. Savannah is notoriously known for the most haunted location in the U.S., other than New Orleans.
Yeah.
Um, think about Savannah in one tiny bubble and then tenfold it. That is what Shawnee is. So
Wow.
it's pretty crazy.
Oh man, but yeah, that day spending, I've honestly, that was the first time that I planned out an investigation to be out for like 2 nights, sleeping in our cars. Freaking, it was that like the almost like the whole camping experience.
Mm.
And I took a bunch of pictures. I wanted it to, to do certain things, but unfortunately, due to the weather, because the second night it was like it started raining or snowing or something.
Yeah, there was a lot of sleep going on for sure.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the
Have you got a dog in the house?
Yeah, I've got 2 dogs in the house.
I'm frozen up.
no,
Oh,
uh, aside from the freezer that we were in, but I went out to the bus, and Robert was in there,
Yeah.
but I didn't get to notice that anybody was there because it was during the time that all you guys left to get coffee and breakfast.
Mm.
So I stayed back. I thought I was alone, right? So I was walking around, and that was when I got the hit on the ghost meter. The first time I was on the other side of the lake, and I was trying to see if what's going on is actually going on.
Mm.
And then I told whatever whoever it was, follow me. We're gonna go around on the other side of the lake and all this and that. But once I hit the corner of the lake and then looked towards uh, the bus, I saw like movement and ahead. I was like, "This is what they're talking about." And then but it was Robert, and we conducted a bit of an investigation inside a bus. But we had some experiences, some activity there also with the flashlights and everything. So it was absolutely amazing. But the fact that you just said that it was quiet, you know, now it's like I have to go back.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I won't.
yeah, that's the next thing I was going to say. Because Jacqueline does these tours 2 or 3 times a year, would you fully recommend anybody jumping on one?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, if there's any location that needs to be done, if you're interested in the paranormal whatsoever, that place is a definite bucket list. Now, I've done locations to where, like, it's always active. Like, there's, you go in there and you're expecting, everything to happen, and it does. Um, I would say that Shawnee is right up there with those because you don't know what you're going to get, but you know something's going to happen. So it's not one of those locations where I'm going to say that you'll arrive there and you'll sit for 10 hours and absolutely nothing happens because it's too haunted for that.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? We've gotten a lot of comments, about because we kind of promised the audience that we were going to do the offering, and and so everybody could participate. But talk to us more about the offering mount and what
Mhm.
happened that night to you, because it was very, mysterious. I was, I'm one that I don't need to know you, but if I'm part of a group, I'm gonna look out for everybody,
Right.
right? And while everybody was, Jax was using her portal, everybody was just kind of, around the mount. But then I noticed you kind of walking off into the dark.
Oh yeah.
And then that it was so dark that once you just left the light of this little bulb that was there, you just disappeared. Like you went through a veil. So could you fill us in on what was going on during that day? That night.
Okay, so for those of you that don't really know, I'm a clairvoyant paranormal investigator. So I do have clairaudience. I have, visual things that go on with me. I have, I guess the best way to explain it, which I tell people most, is I'm basically like a human spirit box. But uh, with that, sometimes I'll just randomly see stuff that people are just, completely oblivious to. And right behind us, I had noticed there was some movement. So we're standing here, the mound is directly in front of us, and over here to the right, there is shadow movement over in the trees. So I go over there to kind of look, and there's some guy just kind of bouncing and watching us. And that was what I was, kind of focusing on. Well, he works his way back around to the backside of the mound and then just dissipates. So that's why I disappeared, because I was trying to see what was going on over there. And obviously, to someone who doesn't know me, they're like, what the hell is this guy doing? But that's precisely what I was doing.
Yeah, yeah. You actually showed me a drawing of an experience that you had. Would you
Right.
like to share it with the? I know you spoke of it just a little bit during the freezing temperatures, but now that we're all nice and comfy and warm, share a little
Okay.
bit of
Yeah.
about that picture.
Okay, so if any of you guys want to see this picture, it is on my Facebook, it is on my TikTok, it is on my Instagram. So if you want to see what he's talking about, it's there. You can look at it. So basically, our prior experience in Shawnee, before Fernando came, the previous one, we had a lot of activity going on, and it came to the point where that activity turned a little bit negative. Um, and for those of you that don't really know much about Shawnee, it is on top of a Native American burial site for the Shawnee Native American tribe. So you have a trail coming from a burial mound, which is where we did the offerings and stuff like that. The burial mound has about, I want to say, around 2,000 people buried there. And then there's a half-mile trail that comes all the way down into the entrance of Lake Shawnee, all the way down into the gazebo area, which you guys probably saw if you were
Yeah.
watching. The gazebo was made up for filming. So normally that area is completely open. But yeah, I'm there on the bus, which I don't. I'm one of those people, like, if I don't like the energy of something, I don't touch it. The bus is one of those areas. So I stepped on for a second, and then I stepped off for a second. That was it. And I went and sat under the gazebo. Well, I had noticed the energy shift, and it was. I never get scared. I never get scared. I'm one of those people. You could have 12 shadow figures pop up in front of me. I'm just gonna say hi. That's who I am. But I look over to the trail that leads to the mound, and I see thousands, just thousands of people standing there, and they're coming in, walking towards the bus for protection. And when I tell you, it was this most overwhelming energy I've ever felt. It was just, it was like I was just stuck and I couldn't move.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I'm knowing at this moment is, you guys messed something up. We're here to fix it. Stay where you are. And
Yeah.
that was all I heard, and I conveyed it to the group while they were on the bus, because I was on the live. I texted them. I was like, "Hey, this is what's happening," and we had a very, very eventful night there.
Mhm.
Um, Now, with that, a lot of times I don't do anything with the things that I see, but out of curiosity for the other people, like I wanted them to know exactly what I was seeing. So after the investigation, I get home and I was like, dude, I got to draw this. I have to show them exactly what was going on there, all of that. So I drew the picture. And everybody's like, oh my God, oh my God. Like, yeah, I'm sitting here and like, I there were so many I couldn't even count. I was just like, I can't count that. High school failed me. But but yeah. Um, and it was interesting too because anytime someone would leave the bus, I would notice that like two or three of these people would break off and walk with them to wherever they were going. So it was the weirdest thing that I've ever seen paranormal wise. And it was just something that I had to draw and I had to show them. So if you guys want to see that picture, it's on all my platforms. But yeah, that's one thing that I did.
So what goes through your head when you see that many spirit people heading towards you at one time? Because to me, I'm picturing something that looks very much out of a zombie film, just a horde walking towards you, but not necessarily zombies, if you know what I mean. That would be
Yeah.
a very intimidating feeling, I would have thought.
Oh, it was absolutely terrifying. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like when I say I don't get scared, I don't really get scared. But in that moment, dude, that was yeah. I almost needed a separate pair of pants. That was how that one went.
Hey, so what was, I know you have spoken to me about it, but just so everybody could know, and just so we could help out Chris and Big Shawnee. What was the most terrifying experience that you had in that bus?
Oh, okay. I don't know that it would be terrifying. It's more the energy of it,
Okay.
and I don't know. I felt like we were Jacqueline and I when we were investigating. It was almost like we were caught in a loop. So the bus itself is kind of said to house children spirits, and with that, Jacqueline likes to bring balloons on the bus.
Yeah.
And what she'll do is she'll set them at the back of the bus and have the kids roll it up to her, and then when that happens, she'll replace it. So, not to say this is negative. I'm not saying this, for to scare anybody away from it. I'm not saying, oh, there's, the D entities on the bus or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, the way that I felt, I just didn't like it. So basically, what happened is we get on the bus at like, I say it's 3 a.m. I think it's 3 a.m. that we got on the bus. We were on a live recording, and nothing was really happening. So we're just kind of sitting there, and Jacqueline's like, okay, we're going to shut down. Like, nothing's really going on. Guys are going to head in for the night, stuff like that. And as soon as she gets up to leave, that balloon starts rolling all the way to the front of the bus. She's just like, okay, so now we have stuff happening. Let's continue. So she goes and sets it back down. About an hour, nothing else happens. She's like, okay, well, I guess we're going to go now. Balloon just keeps rolling.
Damn.
So she sets it back. I'm like, okay. And this happens like 20, 30, 40 times. And like, before we know it, it's 7 a.m. And we haven't ended the live. Because every time she says, hey, we're going to, end, this balloon just keeps moving. So, like, yeah, to me, like, I was like, I'm going to let her do her thing. I'm tired. I need to go take a nap. Stuff like that. But it was weird because I felt like we were caught in a loop. And it was just a never ending thing. And, like, if she had she could probably stayed there forever. And that's, that was one thing to me. I was just, this is interesting. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. Like, it was weird because like I said, I don't get frightened or anything, but it was something that really creeped me out. Like, it really was. Like, they're trying to hold you here forever, dude. So,
Gotcha. I know that, I am old school. I don't really walk around with a lot of tech on me. But one of the things that I love doing is taking pictures, videos, and EVPs. So I was walking around the maze. You told me that you never really walked around that fun house before. But I do have an EVP, and I put it
That
up.
fun house, is that the fun house that you walked into with us with the cameras at the start?
Yeah.
I don't know if fun's the word for that.
I mean, it's actually amazing.
I'd love to go in
Unfortunately,
there, but I don't know if fun's the word.
it's actually pretty awesome the way it was all set up. Unfortunately, that night when I went live, it just there was I felt really uncomfortable. Maybe it's because I was by myself, but it felt like, I mean, all you guys already know this, that sometimes you just get this overwhelming feeling, and then it gets to the point where it's like, you know what, if I keep on going, I think I'm just going to, like, I don't know, like, pass out, and this is the worst place to pass out, and I don't think anybody knows I'm here. But once we hit that corner, but I think that was the best thing to happen, because once you pass that room and you hit a left, right in basically the next room, there was a bed and with veil and everything. I think if I would have seen that at the time of the recording, pitch black, I think I would have sharded or something. Yeah. But dude, I mean, but anyway.
So what we're hearing is, if you come to Shawnee, bring an extra pair of pants.
Oh yeah. So for 2 for 2, Shawnee is a great marketing, company for Hanes or Fruit of the Loom or something.
Depends. Yeah.
If it's 17 degrees, make sure to bring 5 pairs of pants.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Believe me, if you get into 5, man, you just buy the value pack. So you'll be good. Anyway,
Lots of big kids.
yeah, let's move on from Lake Shawnee now. Now, just before we started recording, you were telling us about some really exciting things you've got coming up. And
Yes.
I would love to hear more about that. Do you want to start sharing what you can? I mean, I don't know how much you are allowed to share, but please share with us everything you can about what you've got coming up.
So 2026, I have a lot of tours coming up. Majority of what I do is I'm a tour guide, mostly here in Savannah, but I am delving into other areas in the United States. With that, I'm going with Mysterious Adventures Tours. If you guys don't know who they are a large tour conglomerate that does all over the world. So you think Ireland, you think, Egypt, like literally you think it, they do a tour there. But with that, they're opening what is a strictly United States tour. So you'll have different locations. So what we're trying to do is it's not particularly a tour guide experience. It's not going to be like, oh, okay, you show up, we're going to do a walking tour. Okay, bye guys. That's not what this is. It's going to be a more immersive experience to where we will talk about the city, we'll talk about, the history there, we'll go into some of the haunted buildings, we'll do paranormal investigations, visit some of the sites, eateries, just literally jump into the city and what it is, what it's, said to be, literally everything. And that's what this experience is. Well, these are weekends. So it's little 3-day trips. You can have the option, I believe, for 4 or 5 days. If you want to arrive early, just pay a little more, and I'll be there and just basically hang out. And we'll get the pre-activities in or whatever. The first one I have coming up, which I'm stupid excited about, is in April, and that's in Bardstown, Kentucky. We're doing Waverly Hills, and we're doing.
Stop.
If I was able to be able to put my fingers up at you right now, I would.
And we're doing a bourbon tour of Bardstown, Kentucky as well.
That's
So that's going to be, yeah. So that's the first one.
I think I might have to leave now.
Now, with this said, they are up on the site. Which, if you guys want to go over to my page, you can see the site. I'm not sure how many are bookable right now because they are putting everything together. And I literally just had a conversation with their site builder the other day, and he's getting everything ready for that. So you will be able to see what's up there. But as far as bookings, just kind of pay attention because I'll post when the bookings are, available.
Yeah.
The second one we're doing is in September. That one's Gettysburg.
I don't know if I like this guy anymore.
If you say
We
next
haven't.
year's
I
gonna be
haven't
something
even
like
gotten to the
Alcatraz,
good
then
one yet, though.
Oh man,
So,
I'm
so,
waiting for
so,
that one.
so, Gary, what I'm thinking here is like try and like join in on this whole experience. Use like
I
code
mean,
shadow files, and we get flowing out there as part of the whole advertising.
I'll be in on
I mean,
that.
come on.
I mean, it could
I need
work.
somebody to hold a camera.
Hey man, I'll hold the camera. I'll hold your left shoe if I have to.
He'd hold your nether regions if he had to.
I said left shoe because being polite.
Oh man.
It's not gay if it's for ghosts.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
getting
So
back
we
to
have
Waverly,
Waverly Hills, we
I was
have
gonna say,
Gettysburg, and what's the other destination?
Oh, there's a couple more, but the next one is in June, and that's going to be Mothman in West Virginia. So we're doing cryptids in West Virginia.
That's the one I wanted you to say because you told me about this one, but I know how much these guys, Gary and Jeremy, love. I mean, the Shadow Files is all about paranormal, but
Mhm.
And
these guys
cryptids.
really are into cryptids. Let alone aliens and everything. So I was waiting for you to say the Mothman.
so you're going out to the
And
TNT area and everything for that one?
yes, yes. So we are doing a TNT tour.
See, I took these off for a reason, Gary. I'm just glad they're
Those look
wireless.
expensive.
I'm
There we
glad
go.
they're
We're at half an
wireless.
hour. Josh is done.
I'm glad
That's
I got
like
wireless because I want to
I
try
have
to
way
hang
more.
myself there.
All right, so quick one. Getting back to the tour at Waverly Hills, how long do people actually get to spend in the premises themselves?
That one I'm not too sure of yet. I know we're gonna spend a couple hours there. It's not gonna be like, okay, we walk in and walk out. I think that we're trying to do a lockdown investigation in these places, but I don't know how long that lockdown is gonna be for. Um, I'm the guide. I'm the leader of the experience, but as far as discussion and things go, we're still in the discussion phase with these places. So what they're going to allow is what we're going to have. So that's what we're working on right now.
When you do a tour like Waverly Hills, how many people would you say you'd cap out at in a single tour?
Oh, so the tours that we're doing are small. They cap out at 12. That
Perfect.
is the
Yeah.
mass amount of people that are going to be on these tours.
So
So
you
it's
Plus
get a
very
two.
real personal
personal.
experience there.
Yeah, so you get good experience. It's not going to be like, oh, there's 50 people here. I can't hear anything. My EVP has Jessica in the background screaming because she saw something move on the floor. Like it's not going to be like that. Um, Now, if Jessica is in the background screaming because she saw something on the floor, then cool, we'll investigate it. But it's only going to be 12 people. So the tickets are limited, but we do plan to run these next year as well. So this is not the only year we'll be going at it, and if they do really well, just expect it to continue. For
All
as
I'm going to
long,
say, I'm going to interrupt and I'm going to say this right up front. If you ever get an overnighter set up at Alcatraz, give me a year's notice so I can get me bloody passport forwarded and shit, because that's my primo bucket. That, Waverly Hills, and there's a couple of others, but The Rock, or I don't know how active the place is. I'm assuming it's fairly active, but just that location at night time with only a few people would be absolutely mind blowing.
I
For sure.
I do think I saw something on Alcatraz. I think someone's doing it. I'm not sure who yet. But yeah, I will definitely let you know because if I get Alcatraz, everyone's gonna know. Everyone, like I'm gonna be talking about it every day forever. That Josh has no personality anymore. We're going to Alcatraz. That's what's happening.
Oh
I'll be in
man.
that. Yeah, definitely.
Well,
Wow.
I'm
So,
definitely gonna keep an eye out to see if I could join the tour and possibly even bring you guys along
You're
so
going
when
to
you do
take us
these
on the plane?
tours, eh?
You're going to take us on the plane?
on the plane. Oh,
No,
wait,
he
to
didn't do the
Alcatraz?
other
No,
one.
I was
You
talking
said
about
you were gonna
Waverly.
You said you're going to take us with you, so are we coming on the plane or?
I mean, I'll definitely try and do a better job than Lake Shawnee when I go. Hopefully, I can make at least Waverly.
Oh, I was
When
excited for a sec. I thought we were going to be meeting you at the airport, and you were going to take us. Not we're just going to fit
that
in.
would be freaking amazing if you guys can make it out for any of these tours.
Hang on.
That
So
would
when did
be
you say it was
awesome.
going to be at Waverly Hills?
That's in April.
April. Let's have a look. So
It's
it's
not far away.
February, March, April.
He's looking at plane tickets.
Now, I will give you guys information. I do believe that some of the stuff's going to be bookable here within the next month. So whenever that happens, I'll definitely shoot it over to you. That way you know the exact dates and things like that.
No, that'll be awesome.
I mean,
That'd
Gary,
be
you
awesome.
happy to sit on a plane for 40 hours with me?
That's
I mean,
about
40
we've got,
hours.
we got earplugs.
Man, by the
Uh,
time you guys get there, you're going to need 3 days to recover. And then it'll be time to go home.
Well, Gary, we're looking at about like 3,000 Australian dollars to get to Kentucky. If anyone wants to
enough
donate
time
to our
to
flight,
with enough time. It's doable. That's Australian, isn't it? Not
yeah, it's
American.
Australian, no, Australian.
so
not
you guys,
Asian.
we're gonna open up a GoFundMe.
Oh wow.
So we could get Gary and Jeremy up in Kentucky.
Yeah, let's see how that one goes.
Does KFC taste better in Kentucky?
So you guys want to know the real kicker? You want to know the one that I'm like really, really about? So I mentioned
Don't do it.
Mothman in June. Guess
Don't
what's
do
in
it.
July?
Don't do it.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Gary, let's go. We're out.
No, we're experiencing technical difficulties right now.
That was as close as we get to a mic drop. That.
Oh my god!
Been fucking 30 years I've been waiting to get in that place. Sorry. There's the F-bomb.
Whoa, Gary just cursed you guys.
Way
Oh
back.
man!
And we're still
Way
waiting
back.
on an interview. Eventually it'll happen.
Way back when Nids had the place, I was wanting to get in there.
Hey, Gary, we've got an inside guy now for getting him on the podcast.
Hey, Josh.
How you doing?
I can't say it's free.
Didn't say it was going to
you
be.
know that.
You got a foot rub? I'll give you a foot rub.
I actually spoke with the dude that owns the place, but he was going to come on the show,
The dude.
and then well,
You had it.
he's been too busy and it just hasn't happened. So, you know, we've got to ride on his fancy helicopter there.
Yeah, that's so for me. It's one of those places like I love it, but at the same time, I did mention I'm a clairvoyant, so I'm also incredibly terrified of it. So
Oh,
there's
yeah.
going to be like a happy medium there. Like when I say I don't get scared, it's true. But I feel like with this place, I'm just going to be like, you know what I mean?
You thought like Shawnee was bad with him walking down the path towards the mound.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about Skinwalker Ranch, not only the history of it, you got the UFO activity, UAP activity, whatever you want to call it. You've got the spiritual activity. There's a lot of stories of paranormal activity, specifically around the Homestead 2 area. I'd be really interested because they're focusing a lot of their attention on the triangle. I don't know if they've actually done a clairvoyant type experience there to see what you might pick up. They're doing the rockets, they're doing the infrared, they're doing all these different things. They're digging down into the mesa and stuff like that. I don't know if they've actually done a clairvoyant or a psychic type investigation which could help lead them to certain areas. I know the history of the place and how you're not allowed to dig in certain areas and things like that. And I've heard a lot of the stories and I've seen a lot of the footage, and pretty much, you know, my team over here, we'll do anything. We do Yowie investigations, which is the equivalent of like a Bigfoot investigation for you guys. We do paranormal investigations of haunted locations or cemeteries and things like that. But we will look into anything, you know, mysteries and legends and things like that. And Skinwalker's got everything, every one of those.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a place where like if it's not there, don't wait. Don't worry, it'll be there soon. Like I feel like it's just one of those places that draws in energy. So I that's one of the things I'm just like, this is either going to be an incredible experience or they're going to have to put me in a straitjacket because it's going to be too much.
Hey, hey. It's definitely a location that it's a cesspool of everything paranormal.
I have a question for you in relation to these tours and everything. How you say you're the tour guide and stuff like that. Do
Mm.
you actually take your own gear and investigate as well, or are you sort of chaperoning the the people who are coming on the tour around and letting them do their investigations?
So I do have personal gear that I use occasionally. I don't, like Fernando said, I don't often use electronic gear. Majority of the time is because I don't have to.
Yeah.
But I do use it for like secondary confirmation too. So like spirit boxes and stuff like that, I do like to have secondary confirmation. That way, I can differentiate from what's a thought of mine or someone else's. You know what I mean? Um, but as far as that goes, I would say to bring some gear because we don't particularly have anything other than what I have on hand. You know what I mean? Like I do have access to things, but I can't say that I'll have those things at all times because those are, property of someone else, and we use it within my paranormal group. So,
Yeah.
So safe to say, like if anybody was to be interested in purchasing a ticket to join one of your tours, they would have to bring their own because the tour won't provide.
not to say it won't provide, but it would be a good idea. Yes.
All right.
I can't say that there won't be any because I always have a spirit box and stuff on me. So wherever I am, it's literally I have a strap bag that has like all my equipment strapped to my chest. So I will have some with me.
We've seen it, yeah, in the Lake Shawnee freezing video. We know exactly what you're talking about, my friend.
So, Gary,
But
Yeah.
we need to make our mind up now which one we want to go to, Waverly Hills or
Skinwalker.
All right, so it's going to cost us about $4,000 each.
I lost me poop on
That's for 2
Waverly
weeks.
Hills, but as soon as you
That's
mentioned Skinwalker, everything else is just gone.
so that's for like.
But there's
That has
more.
been my dream since I
I
was.
probably should have said Skinwalker last.
So probably
well, I'm gonna pay for it.
well, we're looking at $3,500 each. That's for 2 weeks in America for flights.
I've always wanted to visit Utah.
Well, I will say within the tickets, everything else is included. Like you have a, hotel, you have, all the amenities. The only thing that's not provided is food. So
we can get
the
Fernando to do that
experience
for us.
is totally
Pack some
paid for within the
sandwiches.
tickets.
Just a Pop-Tart and some Kool-Aid. We were up.
Yeah,
Hey, listen.
Fernando's now a sandwich lady.
hey, listen, if you guys actually make it out here, you guys don't have to worry about nothing. I mean, I'll pick you up at the airport and I'll drop you off at the airport.
Oh, look at Fernando.
Look at your face. Oh my God. Did it freeze?
No.
Fernando also says it is for the price of a ticket.
That's okay.
We
get
got
some good
some
sandwiches.
locations over here, and Fernando really wants to get over and check out like the old quarantine station and a few places around here as well.
Like, the places we have here are good, but it's just not.
There's actually a whole lot more that people don't know.
Skinwalker Ranch is
Oh,
not
yeah.
Waverly
It's just
Hills.
not publicized as much. It doesn't. It's not that whole attention. Like,
Which
we've
actually,
got-
for me, I think that's better.
like we've got
because-
places that people know of every day go there, and they just don't understand the history behind it.
Mm.
Like one of the
Yeah,
places we
that's-
like to go. One of the places we like to go is like very well traveled by a lot of people daily, and a lot of people still don't know the history behind it or what is there.
So, Josh, with these tours, would you say they are aimed at like a hardcore paranormal investigator, or are they aimed at just your average Joe that wants to go on a spooky tour, or a bit of a mix?
It's a bit of a mix. Like I'm not gonna say that you have to have done thousands of investigations to go on these tours because part of it is I'm a huge history nerd. So like if anything, before we even roll into these places, we're either gonna have guides on site to where you know exactly what's going on, or you're going to hear from me what to expect and things like that. Now, I don't like to do that too much because I feel like that messes with the investigations. You're planning things in people's heads and stuff like that. But I don't want to say that you have to be, a severe paranormal investigator just to do this because it's literally for everyone. And even if you're like, hey, maybe I have some interest in this, maybe I've never touched it before, maybe, I just want to see what these places are about. Good, come. You'll learn the history. We'll have a great time. It's not specifically paranormal. Now, we do have our locations and things like that. Yes, there is going to be paranormal involved, but it's more about the dark history of these places. So you get like the full experience, is what I'm saying. It's not all, paranormal. You're not going to walk up to somebody who's got 12 backpacks walking around with all the equipment. If you do, then cool.
I mean-
don't get equipment, but. But
There's poor Fernando with a backpack on, carrying all of Gary's stuff.
just call him the paranormal Ninja Turtle.
One of the questions I was going to ask earlier before Gary said that one was like, how much equipment can we take?
I mean, whatever you can carry, because
I'll be fine with dowsing rods. That's enough for me.
Now, I will say that a lot of the people that have done these tours, I know quite a few of them, and a lot of them are reputable psychics. So you may end up with, somebody who's completely incredible on the tour as well. That just can pick stuff up on a dime. I've met people who, I feel like I just need to shut up because they're catching everything way above what I can do. So,
All right, another question for you. Going back to your personal investigations and everything, what is the scariest or the most full-on investigation or specific piece of activity or evidence that you've ever captured?
okay. Capturing, I would say it's here in Savannah.
Or experienced, not necessarily captured, but experienced.
Experience. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm probably gonna go back to Shawnee.
That's what it is.
It's I've been Savannah forever, and it's weird that I've had so many reputable experiences within Shawnee itself. So I don't like giving too much away, but there is a particular area behind Shawnee. I don't know that Fernando got to see it because I think it was overgrown at the time. But
was it by the headstone of the gentleman and the family?
So the trail that they were trying to go down, there's an area back there. There was actually a lynching that happened on the property. Now with that, I'll start off from the beginning. So I arrive at Shawnee. Jacqueline had put a post up on TikTok. This is the first time we're ever meeting. I just was like, she's like, hey, do you guys want to, get locked into an abandoned amusement park overnight? And I was like, sign me up. So that's how we met originally. So I rent a car. I go up to West Virginia, and I go to Shawnee. The moment I enter the property, I'm like, this is okay. This is going to be interesting. So I open the door to the car, and they're sitting in the gazebo. And first thing, I step foot on the ground, getting out of the car, and all I hear is, "Hi, I'm Charles. Ever been there before?" And I'm like, okay. So the first thing off the rip is I'm asking okay, do you guys know anything about a guy named Charles? They're like, not a clue. I was like, okay, we'll just move along. We'll move along. And then I walk off for a minute, and I'm trying to figure this out. So John is sitting on the little picnic table or whatever, and he has the portal going. Well, I'm over there trying to talk and stuff. Well, he's getting this guy's voice just coming over the portal. So I literally had to walk back over there to hear what the guy's saying because I'm getting a little bit, but I'm not getting anything like too much. But this portal is just spitting, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Charles." Blah 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 blah. Like I have never like full sentences. So this is, to me, like normally, I get names and stuff like that, but this guy is just going at it. Well, Jacqueline comes back because she had gone to the restrooms and stuff like that, and then she comes back, and then it just stops. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna walk around the property a little bit, and I noticed a trail, and I was like, hey, what's up with this trail here? And they're like, oh, that's just we'll deal with it later. You guys, you can kind of walk down there if you want to. So I walk down the trail, and I get to almost like I'd say a quarter in, and the only thing I'm hearing is stop. Don't go there. Stop. Turn around. Okay. So I just like turned around and walked back. So I would go back and ask. I was like, "So what was up with that?" And she's like, every single person we've had here that has had any type of clairvoyance or mediumship or anything like that has always said that. I'm like, okay, so now I'm interested. Now we're getting to something, and I need to figure this out. And I was like, are we gonna go back there later? She's like, yeah, we'll go back there later. So it's starting to get closer to nighttime, and we don't want to be on the trail at night first thing because I've never been back there. We don't want to, trip over anything. So when it starts to hit dusk, what we're doing is we're packing up all the equipment, and she's like, okay, we're going to go back to the trail. So we go around the other side of Shawnee, right where you were talking about where the plaque and everything is, and we start going down the trail. And she's like, okay, so I'm not going to tell you anything. I just want to see what you pick up on. Walk ahead of us. I'll let you know. So, me being me, I was like, okay. I mean, you guys never met me before, so I mean, I guess this is a good testing time. So we're walking along, and like I get this. Once again, a quarter of the way in, I'm hearing stop, turn around, don't do it, turn around, like just stop. And I'm like, I'm being told to do something. I can't at this time. We're gonna brave it. We're gonna go through it, even though everything is yelling in my head. Don't do this. And I was like, fine. So I kept going, and I'm looking back, and they're probably about the spot they were where I was told to stop. And I get to, I say it was probably another 20, 30 feet, and I start seeing what's like a black shadow, and it's running towards me, and then it's almost like it trips, and then it dissipates. But I'm seeing this over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, okay, that's really weird. And like it's almost blocking my vision at this point, so I have to like recollect myself and make sure that I'm walking. I'm not going to walk into a bush or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, I need to clear my head of this image. So like I'm still like a little bit seeing at this point, but not to the point where it's blocking my vision anymore. So I get to what is almost like where a tree root has grown out, and there's a little hump right there. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. This is like the exact spot where I was seeing, like this tripping, dissipating thing. I'm like, okay. So I look up. Right beside me, there's this giant tree. And I look back at Jacqueline, and I'm like, did you guys bring me to a freaking hanging tree? And she just like stops and tells me like, so I was not too much of a fan of that experience, just because literally what happened is someone was showing me their death. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is where we're at now. Yeah. But yeah, come to find out, there was a lynching that happened on that property, and that was the exact spot it happened at.
So just a fun tidbit, Gary. That location that he's talking about was when I was walking with you guys, showing you guys the nighttime live.
Yep.
And my phone went from 90 to 10%. It was about to die.
Telling me that, yeah.
that is the exact same area.
Wow. And on that, I think we're just about out of time. So, Josh, do you want to tell everybody where your socials are, where they can find you, and where they can find information on your tours?
Yes. So if you go over to Facebook and type in Joshua Haney, you'll see what looks like a giant clown face and me standing in the middle of it. That's my profile picture. That is from Shawnee. If you go onto my profile, my link tree is right there. It has a link to every single one of my socials. So American Shadowlands is on there as well. As I said, also we're updating. So the link that's on there right now will be replaced probably this weekend. And we'll have, all the stuff and blogs and everything like that about American Shadowlands. It'll also lead you to the other tours that Mysterious Adventure Tours does. So if you guys are interested in any of that, I do recommend them. They are an incredible company. No.
I'm jealous.
Along with that, let me finish the list real quick. August, Salem, Massachusetts. October, we're doing Edgar Allan Poe in Baltimore. In November, we're doing Savannah Monsters and Phantoms, so the cryptids and things like that of Savannah. And then
You're over there.
in December, we're going to end for Christmas with a Krampus parade in New Orleans.
Don't tell me you're going to be camping outside of the Laurie mansion, though.
Maybe. I don't know yet. We'll have to see.
Now you're giving him
I
ideas, Gary.
apparently
Thanks.
don't have enough fingers to up at you for that, mate. I just do not have enough fingers.
So if you guys are interested in any of this, hit me up. Go over to the site. Obviously, just watch my pages. I will be posting the links when they're active. You will know. And I hope to see a good amount of people there, and we'll have an incredible time. And if you don't catch it this year, don't worry. We'll be doing it next year as well. So
I'm definitely down.
On that, I think it's time to say goodbye, guys.
Yep.
All right.
Take it easy, everyone.
So, yeah.
Take it easy.
later. Thank you.